G'day and welcome to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy live show for round 22. Today we are going to talk through the big boys, talk about the trades, which are very tough at this time of year. And I have got to get into these beers because I've had myself a day, Luke. Let's go!
Just done it from nowhere. Blasted the goal from inside the 30. Sheed from the boundary. Dusty. You're a magician. Petrarca. The legend becomes immortal.
G'day and welcome again to the Ball Boys AFL Fantasy podcast. I am your host, Mitch Casey, and you can find me on Twitter at Ball Boys Fantasy. And I am joined by the ever optimistic, the fun-loving, the funniest man in AFL Fantasy, Luke Rogerson. Mate, how are you?
Good. It sounds you haven't let me know about this. I'm going to hear about whatever you've got to say live with everyone else, but I'm actually doing okay. I had Ned Long last night was the starting sub, and I thought to myself, okay, well, I mean, maybe I just trade out Ned Long, but then I thought I'll see what happens. I'll leave him, and I left him on field. On the bench with a loop on. He sucked, but I figured Jack Martin to Bailey Smith, the gap there is going to be bigger than whatever Manny Liddy is to the premium midfielder this week. He's going to come on. He's going to perform for me.
Surely.
So, the moral of the story here is I'm ever the optimist. Like you said,
yeah.
I can see it going really well at the Ox Shits this week.
really, really well. And in fact, we're going to channel that optimism into helping people out this week with AFL Fantasy. Before we do, I want to get this off my chest because I've had a day, Luke.
Okay.
And,
Whinge away.
It's nothing AFL Fantasy related, but today, coming home from work, a couple weeks ago, I was in a little motor vehicle accident. And someone cleaned me up from the side. Got that fixed, all sorted. Today, at the lights, coming home from work, I'll admit, I picked up a little McDonald's on the way from work. It was chowing down on some fries. And at the lights.
Standard for you.
Lights went green, and I was busy enjoying my fries. Didn't quite realise the lights were green. And a couple of beeps from behind. Okay, all right, hold your horses. I'll get going. And started going. The person behind me just cleaned me up, ran straight into the back of me, hit and run, drove off, didn't stop.
Rear-ended you, mate.
finger out the window, and so that was how I ended my work day. And
How long did you take to go? Was it surely somebody doesn't get that worked up over a couple of seconds?
There was 2 beeps. There was like a third beep as we're coming out. Like, we both made it through. It was a few seconds of delay, but this guy's, intentional as you like, ran up the back of me.
Yeah.
And then just drove off. So, this beer feels really good today.
Right.
Because, I was pretty annoyed at that.
Okay, I've got follow-up questions, but I'll save them till after. We don't want to spend the whole show talking about your thing. Is that how you got a little cut on your beak there, or has that been around for a little while?
No. That's just me. I don't know what that is from. But
too much brown nose, mate. Too far up someone's arsehole. You
but anyway, moral of the story. Don't be a dick. But anyway, we're not going to get stuck on that. Just wanted to get that off my chest.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to this beer and looking forward to talking to these lovely people out here about AFL Fantasy. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start with last night's game. There's not actually too much to talk about with last night's game, though, because we had a pretty irrelevant game when it came to AFL Fantasy. I mean, there was the Dacosses that played. I want to talk about Josh Dacos because he devolved into the worst Nick Dacos, or the worst Dacos, I should say. He was charging along for a number of weeks there, and he was a Charizard.
Okay, yeah.
Last night, he was a fucking Charmander.
Yeah.
60, what do you have? 65 points. That's just not good enough. And as a semi-unique player, 64, sorry. I think that's his worst score for the entire season. It is by a fair margin. So that was a bit of a kick in the teeth to start the round.
Yeah, that's Bulbasaur gear. That's not,
you don't
not
want
even the
Bulbasaur.
starter you want.
There you go.
That's horrible. I talked about Longy just before. Obviously, it really was irrelevant other than me, but just another little kick in the dick. You got rear-ended and I got front-ended with a boot right in the peen.
There you go.
That hurt me. But what about somebody that a lot of people might be running at F7 in Dylan Moore?
Well, he was a pass mark, I thought. What do you have, 91 in the end? A lot of people were talking about trading him out. We were sort of recommending that we wait and see what the McRae thing is going to be if you're looking to trade in the forward line. And if you did hold Dylan Moore and maybe he was on your bench with the loop, I think I would take that 91.
You're a little disappointed, and no pun intended, but he could have had more. He was on 65, I think, at halftime, or mid-60s at halftime, and he stunk it up in the second half.
26 points in the second half, 5 in the third quarter. That was where he really went missing. But it still is a bit of a... It's a tick for the forward line these days. So that's okay. And I traded out Darcy Cameron a week later than I originally planned to, but he's out of the side now. And probably, I'm pretty happy. 82, I wouldn't have really wanted that with a couple of these big rucks that we maybe are going to talk about in another segment coming up later because... yeah, that's not cutting it in that line for sure.
Fantasy aside, the Pies are really just limping in at the moment.
Absolutely.
And the Hawks looked red hot last night and have been all right for the last little bit. So, lots of moving and shaking happening.
Yeah, a month ago, I would have had them as the favourites to win it all, but can't say that now with how they're, like you said, limping to the finals.
Tim... we appreciate your super chat,
Here
Tim.
he is.
Tim says, I only have 126k. What do I do with Butters?
Does he go Butters out
or Merritt out? Or English out?
Now, this is a good question, Tim. I would prioritise getting out Butters. Sorry, not Butters. Merritt first. I think he is probably one of the highest priority trade outs this week because he got tagged last week to a 70-odd score. And he's also coming up against a matchup this week or tonight against the same tagger that tagged Butters to that fucking disgusting 34 points.
And if you work on the logic that Geelong tagged last week when there was only one player that could potentially beat them, you'd have to...
why not do it again?
You'd have to work out the only bloke that can beat you at Essendon at the moment is Zach Merritt. So, yeah, I think I agree with that. So it's probably Merritt, and then you're hoping for a Butters bounce back. Yeah, Tim. Tyler also jumps in with a couple of super chats, actually. Appreciate you, Tyler.
Before we get into Tyler's question, just shout out to Tim for taking me down last week.
He got you?
Yeah, in the matchup. He got me good. I thought there was a little bit of hope there when I benched Butters, but no, he got me in the end. So, yeah.
Tim's humming this year.
Got me by, 29 points.
Get sized up for his hat. Tyler says, help, Myers, Jezza, Darcy. can then loop Chad
Yes.
in
Okay.
the tractor.
I think it's Myers, personally. I think he is, if you were to put those guys there, he is the guy that I feel absolutely the safest is going to be the top player of those three for the rest of the year. He might not be the highest kind of like 6 play. Cameron might be that. I also just think Sam Darcy's really fucking good.
Yeah, he is. Look, I think, and of course this is a slight cop-out, but it depends on what you want to try and achieve out of the rest of the year. If you're hoping for just a really safe play, Brian Myers has 2 good matchups in the last 3, but if there is the potential that if either Jezza or Darcy get off the chain in one game, if we're talking about averages over a 3-game stretch, you don't have to...
Might be enough,
Yeah, you don't have to do too much in one of those games. So maybe Tyler here, depending on what you're trying to get out of that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, you can look at Jeremy Cameron this week and go, yep, he's going to kick a bag tonight. Well, Sam Darcy's versing a Melbourne team without old mate Stephen May and his teammate March. But Sam Darcy, and he's also got then West Coast the week after. So I think that could be a very, very exciting game to watch if you're a Sam Darcy owner. So I think Myers is the safest play if maybe you're looking to hold rank or you don't need to go too wild. I could make a pretty serious argument that I think I'd put Darcy over Cameron. I think more people are also going to go to Cameron this week than they will Darcy. So even though Darcy is like 10% more owned in like the top 100 and top 1,000, I actually think by the time trades are done, I think that'll actually flip. I think Darcy will be the more unique player. After all things said and done.
Good call. Just general team reactions this week. We're getting the season's getting long in the tooth. It's starting. We look at the teams week to week, and there's just less that I'm excited about.
Well, there's less, with the rookies and stuff like that. We don't care about that anymore. But it's all the little things that we want to try and see if we can learn something about. The poo is back. So obviously you're going to trade him in, right? Because that's what you do with players who come back in after injury.
That's giving me the shits already. Just hearing you say that the poo's back.
Does him being back, does that affect Jack McRae?
Well, this is what poo did last year, isn't it? This is Return of the Poo.
Yeah. Episode 2, Return of the Poo.
You'd have to think it does, doesn't it? If he's going to come back and do... Well, this is the problem, okay? At the end of last year, he came in, he played that midfield role. We were all red hot on him to start this current year. But what he's done this year is he came in and he did fucking nothing and he played forward. So do you align with the thinking that they're going to do a little repeat of what they did at the end of last year, or do you align with the thinking that he's just coming in to be the mediocre operator that he was this year?
Well, the last year was that he was already in the side and he was playing, so I don't think it'll be like last year. But as in he was playing at the twos and things like that. He wasn't injured. But this year, you could also look at it as like maybe this actually helps McRae with Philippou coming in. Then maybe easing back in. Maybe he's the sub.
From that perspective. Yeah.
Because he's just, going to ease back into it. So it's one that could go either way. I am genuinely nervous about Jack McRae, but at this stage, I'm probably going to be trading and using both of my trades. I used one last night. I'm going to use the second one tonight. So I'm going to be stuck with him regardless. So I'm going to just see how things go and hope for the best. But if you didn't have a Darcy Cameron to deal with last night, I'd probably hold at least one trade to see what McRae does.
Good. We'll pause just for a second because the Cheese has jumped in with a super chat.
Cheese man.
We appreciate you, Cheese, and your generosity there. Says, hey boys, hope you're doing well. Well, Cheese is up and about after a Pies loss, rooting for the Lions, but also... Also says, no fantasy question, just a general sort of PSA type question here. Eye contact in a Devil's three-way.
Do you have any experience in this?
Vast experience.
So I thought you were the one in the middle with Philippou and Ned Long on the side.
Long.
Horn France is also there as well.
Long by name and by nature. And trust me, there was no eye contact being made there. It was more of a close your eyes and pray for the best.
Your gaze.
Yeah. But no, I'm going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, can't say I've got too much experience there either. But no, thank you very much for the thing. He also says shots at the end.
Cheese also says shots. I didn't know whether I'd have to say this off the start of the podcast. I'm not going to do shots today. Now, Cheese, you have handed over your hard-earned. So if you feel that you need to be compensated in some way, we will find a way to compensate you. For not doing the shot, or maybe we will delay the shot.
There's a line that has to be drawn in the sands that we will not do anything for money.
I mean, Mitch has already been...
throw enough money, but...
Mitch has already been rear-ended today. He was also in a car crash. So I don't want to put him through that, but yeah.
Anyway, yes.
You get what I'm saying.
Maybe the last show of the year we'll do something fun and we'll take some requests or something there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Tim also follows up by saying, well done on a great matchup. Thank you very much, Tim. Very good sport. And I wish you all the best in your pursuit for the hat. Solly's Stalwarts says, hey there, big wangs. Also, how good is Naz? Cheers for the year and... I love you.
Appreciate Solly's, your super chat. And I mean, if there was one player that I was just hoping absolutely killed it this year, it's Wang.
It's Wang.
I mean, it's such a rich area.
It is. It is an absolute
and
rich
for
area.
immature little operators like us, we can't help ourselves.
And as far as jokes that keep giving and giving and giving, this is the one that it's always funny.
They keep coming.
They keep nice. Just on fire.
Let's go. Okay, we got sidetracked. Team reactions. The Big O.
The Big O. He is not.
The Big O
back.
Sometimes inextricably linked to the Wang.
Good
So
transition
good segue.
there. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Occasionally.
It's like the old backwards segue.
Yeah.
So he's not back in, which I think helps Grundy, as this was supposed to be the one tough matchup he had for the rest of the year. He's had a dream run, by the way. I think he's gotten a bit lucky with a couple of the outs, but I think this helps him. He was down a little bit of my captains at the start of the week, but he rose back up. We'll stay tuned to see if he does make the top 5 later. Laddams was also omitted, so it's like the double whammy that helps Grundy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for Brody, does it?
No, I don't think it does, but it's just really positive signs if you got him in your side. Flanders is injured, so if you're looking for an excuse to trade that dud, well, there you go. He's out. Trade him out. And Connor Rosie is back after he was sick last week.
Like I said on I think it might have been Wednesday's Patreon podcast, I said, Connor, you can't be sick for more than 2 weeks.
No, grow up.
COVID's done.
Yeah.
It's not 2020 anymore, so we need to park that, Connor. So that's good to hear that he's back. No wags for Freo. So this is, I mean, whether he tagged or not, I think this is good news for Butters. It just eliminates that possibility, I think. So that makes me think about holding Butters even more over Merritt. The Ex-Meister is back, so we'll throw the headgear back on and see what he can do.
And walking into a great matchup as well. If you were...
super agricultural.
If you were ballsy, it would be an interesting play to trade interest in Sherry this week. I don't think you can do it more based off what he's done the rest of the season.
He hasn't been what he was last year.
But it would not shock me if he went big this week.
Okay. And last thing we'll mention here is we're waiting on a Tommy Campbell.
So we'll check that one. And also no Wagner for Freo. So Wagner was out last week and doesn't come back in. Did you say that already?
I did. I mentioned that, mate.
My bad. So let's check Tommy Campbell while you read out the last few super chats.
Have a look. Mark has also jumped in with the super chat. We appreciate Mark. Mark
no
says,
Tommy Campbell.
Okay. So Mark says, since Cheese has set the standard and we aren't doing fantasy questions, can we discuss the 4th dildo being thrown onto the WNBA court today?
Have you seen this?
I don't think
you had it.
No,
this is legit. This is actually happening.
I'm lost.
Yeah, people in the crowd are legitimately throwing dildos onto the
when you say the 4th, like what, the 4th in one game, or this is just like a thing
like
that's
it's happened the last few days or weeks. I can't remember the exact time frame, but
okay,
yeah, not cool, huh?
People ask me why I don't go on social media.
Yeah.
Come on,
people, grow up.
Come on.
But no, they legitimately have to tell people, stop fucking doing it. You're actually going to hurt someone.
Throwing the dildo. Is it like a bottle flip? Are you aiming for? Is it one of the suction ones? You're aiming for. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but
yeah,
I'm sure you can do that other places. But no, not cool, guys. No. Not cool.
Not cool. Coming from a mature, sort of respectable podcast like us, we don't want to discuss that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So no, not about that.
Don't sleep on Tim here because Tim's got another super chat. Tim says, Goulden or Dunkley? In a word, Mitch?
I'm Dunkley. I think Dunkley he's in the echelon of players that I want to have that I don't think there's any question marks on Dunkley. He's just the Neil thing, I think, elevates his floor. He can rack up 15 tackles any given game. Won't ever get tagged. So, yeah, I am Dunkley over Errol.
Super Chat's coming in thick and fast, and we do appreciate it. War Condition has decided to talk fantasy, which is good to see. It says Kennedy or Hewitt for the run home.
Kennedy or Hewitt? It's got to be Kennedy just because of the line he's on, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Hewitt's had a good couple of weeks, but the weeks before that were terrible.
The run home is not bad. So Gold Coast is just a great matchup, I think, for him specifically.
And Port are not Port.
Port have been bad, and then he has Essendon. I think he is the more risque play, and like you said, you can hide behind Kennedy being in the forward line. Just consider how much you think he's going to outscore the next best forward. Yeah.
I think if they both were just sitting in the midfield, then I probably would go Hewitt, but hopefully that's not the case because that's not a position I'd love to be in.
Cheese has got another super chat. Says, can honestly say you've both disappointed me. Hey, I apologise. I apologise, but we can make it up to him with the Devil's three-way. Okay.
He's stuck on this.
This is just devolving, isn't it? And also, I hope you're good after the car crash today, Mitch. I mean,
thanks, mate.
Thanks,
nice. You know what? I'm doing much gooder now.
Yeah. That was good.
Cheese fun?
Yeah,
fun?
I like it. You notice how close I'm having to get to the screen these days to read?
Yeah. Old as shit, mate.
Yeah. I'm basically in the fucking camera to read these things.
Get those glasses on next pod.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about some large men.
Large men?
And I'm not talking about no three-way. I'm talking about the big boys. How's this sound coming through?
Woo!
Did that sound come through? You haven't been fucking with this?
It came through on my ear holes.
All right.
So we're good.
So I think we have some great GRATE options this week for captains. I actually think that this is one of the bigger rounds, and I would actually be fairly comfortable moving my line up to 120 this week. I'm normally a bit of a softie when it comes to the VC line, but we've got some big options this week, and I think I'm going to put them in this order. However, I think there's some room to play with whether you're trying to catch up and some players that I think have a higher upside and some players that I think are maybe more safe. So I'm going to start at number one. It is the Wang. Wanganeen Millera versing Richmond. It's a match made in heaven. Now, he was a little disappointing last week, but he had 100 points by three-quarter time. Richmond will let that turn into 150 because he will just dominate them. Richmond won't care. So I am very comfortable saying that he is most likely going to be the highest scoring player this round.
Like you said, I see a scenario where none of us have to go there because we have options.
We have options. In the same game, Rowan Marshall plays against, obviously, Nankervis. Do you want to know what Rowan Marshall's last three average is versus Richmond?
Can I guess?
Go.
Is it 135?
It is close. It's 130.
Okay.
As an average.
Yeah.
That's
immense.
And this is as bad as Richmond basically has been. So he is coming off a 140. Now, there is Max Heath there, but that was not really the Max Heath we were worried about last week. Max Heath played pretty much exclusively as a forward, and Rowan Marshall still played 87% CBAs. So he was doing his thing.
Yeah.
He's in great form. Obviously, he's right in the high of that goal assist a couple of weeks ago that got them over Melbourne with that miraculous comeback. So I think that there's a world where if you were ranked 200 or something like that, a lot of people are going to be going to the Wang for the captain. If you wanted to go a little different and go with Romar, I think that is a play that has tremendous upside. Like, he's a guy that can do 160s.
Yeah.
170s even. I think this is a matchup where that could happen. Number 3, I think, is going to be a very popular VC tonight, and that is Bailey Smith.
I think that's where I'm going.
Essendon.
That was part of the reason why I stuck fat with the Jack Martin to Smith trade, because I felt like I needed that. Yeah,
so he, again, he's been a little bit down since you traded him out, but he's been back the last couple of weeks. He has still only had, despite a couple of poor matchups after his return, he's still only gone below 100 4 times this season, and is still the highest averaging player for the entire year. against the second easiest matchup for midfielders at the moment, trailing only Richmond. It should be a bloodbath. I think Essendon are going to be all concerned about game planning for Jeremy Cameron, and if anyone else in the midfield, probably Holmes. So I think he's going to be let free to do his thing. Number 4 is Jordan Dawson. When you have Jordan Dawson versus the West Coast Eagles at number 4, you know it's a fucking good week for captains, because he went a 125 last week with like 21 touches.
He had a 130 odd against the Eagles earlier in the season.
I think he had a 138 from memory. No other midfielder can go 125 on 20 touches. Like, he's in a class of his own. Like, kicks, goals, tackles, marks, high kick to handball ratio. If you can go 125 with 20 touches, when he goes up against West Coast, and pretty confident he might get 30 plus touches in this game, that could be a big score.
Who are the midfielders that can do that?
Dunkley with his tackles.
And Dunkley doesn't really kick too many goals. Dawson.
Bont, maybe.
Bont if he kicks goals. But Bont decides when he's going to tackle sometimes.
I think that's the end of the list.
It's a small group.
That's it.
It's a fucking small group. If you disagree, maybe pop someone in the comments. But he's immense. Yeah,
he's really fucking good. And then to round out the top 5, I have Bailey Smith's teammate in Max Holmes, who in his last 5 is averaging 115, and really is showing the massive breakout. This is more of what I'd hoped at the start of the season, but more recently he's actually exceeded my expectations. So I think he is a really good option. So I will give an honourable mention to number 6, which is Brodie Grundy. Not quite making the cut there. That's not a slight on Brodie Grundy, but I just think there's some great fucking options this week. And a lot of them in the same game. So, of my top 5, there's only 3 games represented here. So you're going to have to make some tough calls. That's how I split them. But maybe a vanilla week for captains this round, I think, potentially.
Cactus here, thank you for the super chat. Cactus asks about Shawnee Manor. Now, he has been on a mini tear recently. He had that one massive game. He did. He had a big 144, but he's followed up North and Port Adelaide 87-94. This is obviously on a team that's killing it recently, and I don't mind this pick. The problem is it's expensive at this point, but the line that you're playing on the forward line, I think you can afford to be a little speculative. He has, of course, Essendon and Richmond as 2 of his next 3. This to me is agricultural. It's a point of difference play. Yeah. But, hey.
I don't mind it. I think there are better differentiating picks out there, personally.
What do you... maybe addressing this point slightly, but do you think that there's a scenario where teams over these last 3 weeks just go, we're not going to be part of the Jeremy Cameron parade to 100 goals? I think
so, yeah.
And so, to me, I see guys like Stengel, Myers, Manor, all these other Geelong forwards that are going to get absolutely zero attention. They might be guys that get little pops. And not that I'm saying you trade in those guys necessarily, but if Manor's part of that, then, hey.
Yeah, I think he might be. I just don't know if he's like, he had that 144. I just don't know how regularly you're going to see a ceiling like that. Like, he got 3 goals, 11 tackles in that game, 6 marks. I just don't know if that's going to be something we can expect from him. We've got a few super chats coming thick and fast, so keep those maracas just down by you.
Sorry, I reached for them too early. It's not normally a problem I
want to go to Matt's question here, who says, tips for sleeping at night when ranked 2nd.
You won't find tips here, mate.
Luke, do you have any experience in this area?
Nor do you. So
I was 4th for a week.
Okay. How'd you sleep?
2 weeks, actually, just not consecutive weeks.
Matt's killing it this year. Matt's a member of the Patreon, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So we are riding Matt home.
We are absolutely riding Matt home. Tips to sleep? I don't know, man. Just get good scores on Thursday and Friday night. Get into the lead early.
Useless advice.
I don't know, mate. But
keep killing it, Matt. We're
trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Well, we looked a couple of weeks ago, I think, sort of when Matt was ranked maybe fourth it was, 5th, and we had a look. I think as far as the teams above, I think Matt's in a pretty good position. So we're rooting for you, mate. Pietro also jumps in with a super chat. €10 from Pietro.
Oh, the international.
Yeah, he's a bit of an international operator, old Pietro. He says, hi, lads. Are you diversifying your currency portfolio? Thank you. Yes, sorry. Thank you, Pietro. Also, do we tick off McRae or Chad and English to Jezza and Roma? Hunt in the car.
From Pietro. 175. Okay.
Pietro.
Hey, Pietro, you are in hat chasing position. I don't think that's too far to come from. So, look, This is where I do think you ought to be getting rid of English, I think, at this point. He's been fantastic, and I love the guy. But if you're in a position to, I don't mind getting off him and going to a Roma. I think the ceiling's just higher, and that could be a good gap-closing move. McRae versus Chad trading out.
Yeah.
Now, let me refer to my trade targets.
I think for the McRae question, the bit that's been complicating this for a few coaches this week is obviously the writing's on the wall. We're seeing a poor role. We're seeing a guy that's just not doing what we want. But the thing that's complicating it is Richmond.
Yes.
So if he's not the sub, there's going to be a temptation to go, well, surely even Jack McRae on shit game time, shit role, surely he could still manage to go big against Richmond. I think that's what's playing on people's minds.
So I think you're in a position here that obviously, I mean, the biggest concern is the sub.
Yes.
So with your trades here, you don't have to trade anyone out tonight. So I think, well, you're trading in Jezza, but you can edit that trade, I think, assuming that trade works with either McRae or Chad. So, meant to be hat, not the car, it says here. So I think if McRae is in, you can look to back that in. But if you're trading in Jeremy Cameron, would you rather put Cameron on the bench or put McRae on your bench as the loop option if that's where he's coming from?
Based on recent form and the fact that Jeremy Cameron's playing Essendon tonight, you'd probably prefer Cameron on field. Sounds.
I lean to if McRae is not the sub, just trade out Chad. But McRae is the high owned player. He's 72% in the top 100 versus Warner's 53%.
And Pietro, you're chasing. So
you might need a little bit of luck your way, and maybe McRae, and it might not even just be this week. Maybe next week McRae's dropped or the sub or something like that, and that could be something that can get you going close to that top 100 number. So if it was like right here, right now, I'd trade McRae first. But if I knew he wasn't the sub, maybe I'd flip over. But tough call.
Okay, you ready to do some spicy takes, mate?
Let's do it, mate.
Okay, make sure you get yours in the comment while we're doing them. Feeling hot, hot, hot. I can see here in the run sheet, you've written a paragraph, but because I saw that paragraph, I intentionally decided I don't want to read it.
Okay.
I want to go in blind.
Okay.
But I want you to kick us off.
All right.
Why is there a paragraph in the run sheet?
So I'm just trying to get really specific with my spicy takes, because this is the spicy take of this week. Part one is I get in top 1,000. And it's the longest comeback ever because I started the year okay and then went camping. You sabotaged my season. But after coming back into the top 1,000, I'm going to get a phone call from one Mr. Steven Spielberg, and he's going to contact me and ask for the rights to make a movie about my comeback. And I'm only going to accept that on the provision that my character is played by Chris Hemsworth. That's my spicy take. That's what's got to go down this weekend. There you go.
Never has there been a spicier take than that. I'll make one alteration. It's that Patrick Voss plays your character. I don't mind if Spielberg steps in as long as Vossi plays Mitch in the comeback.
But yeah, no, this is the week. I've been there. Yeah. I've been in the top 1,000 for periods over the weekend, only to just fall out in the last couple of games. But this is the week I stay in there.
Yeah.
And the comeback is complete.
No, you're getting close. You need a nudge from behind.
No.
You need a...
Yeah, we've had too much of that. We've had too many nudges from behind today.
Who's going to play your loyal sidekick? The assistant coach at Mitchmond. Who's going to play that role?
I'm blanking on some actors.
Some ugly actors? Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of... No, come back to me later.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well, I'll do my spicy take.
Yeah, Will Ferrell.
Well, hey, Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
I'm a funny guy.
Comedian, yeah.
Okay, my spicy take is, and I think this is still spicy. Jezza to kick his 100 goals, but before the end of the regular season, I want to see him go absolutely nuts. What is it? 25? I think it's 25.
25 goals, yeah.
In three weeks. Now that's spicy enough. If you kick 25 goals in 3 weeks, that's fucking insane.
Pretty fucking spicy.
So
that's an average of what's that? 8.5 goals.
Well, I'm gonna say that he does it in a 10-5-10 kind of fashion.
10-5-10.
So I don't think that Sydney in the middle week let him beat up. but I think he's going to go.
So 10 plus tonight and 10
against
plus
Richmond.
in round 24.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to see it. I think it would be good theatre.
I would love to see
I
that.
think people would tune in to see that chase.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's
All
cool.
right.
We missed a super chat.
Yeah, I think we did
there.
miss maybe one or even a couple.
So, Ryan says, ranked 10th and also taking tips for sleeping. So,
Oh, mate, we've got some esteemed coaches in the comment section today.
we do. Drugs, I think, it can be the only possible answer.
Not too early. You need to be across the weekend. But,
Yes.
yeah, once the game's all said and done, pop them bills.
Yeah, fixed lockout would be beautiful for these,
Fixed
these
lockout.
highly strung coaches at the top end. Holmesy from the Pod is going to be experiencing very much the same stuff. So
What I will say is, I know because when I was there, Luke, you might not know this, but I was in the top 10 for a little while. And I think I got too wrapped up in what other coaches were doing.
like me.
Yeah, no, not you. The other coaches in the top 10.
Okay.
And I had a spreadsheet. I had everyone's teams and my uniques and this sort of thing. And I think that can maybe just take away from like how you're seeing things because you've gotten there by how you're seeing things, right? So I would just keep focusing on that. Maybe Matt, who's at number 2, you keep an eye on number 1 and just focus him down. But that's it. Block out the rest. At number 10, maybe you still focus on your game and the players that maybe are the biggest priority issues for yourself.
Couple of spicy takes before we take the graphic off the screen. Cheese reckons the Pies only just make the finals on percentage and then lose all their remaining games this season. And Bales on the Fantasy Fanatics account says, spicy take, Tom Green goes a ton against North. And you're not wrong, Bales. It is pretty spicy based on his current form.
Yeah, fucking oath it is. The man can't fall into
The
a ton
question is
right
whether
now.
he can even find the fucking pill.
Yeah.
Let alone find points.
Yeah, when you 67, 72, 79 4 weeks ago.
It's
Yes,
dire.
that's pus.
It's very, very dire.
So yes, did we? I'm not sure. Did we miss another super chat earlier than before?
I think we're all good, man. I'm all over it.
Oh no, I think we missed this one from Cheeseman. So did we answer the question? Better ask fantasy question after my delinquent one. Flanders,
apologies.
TDK. Who else have we got earmarked for next year? So talking next year.
Apologies, Cheese. I thought I was all over it and I was not.
Well, I reckon your man, the poo,
Again?
has to be. He'll come in cheaper, won't he? He was a lock this year. He's going to be cheaper
my
again.
God.
Philippou.
He will be cheaper again, yeah. But the problem is he came in and played forward.
Full status. He's keeping it locked up for us. He's keeping it locked down.
Gross. I definitely won't go there, and obviously everyone else will, and it'll be an unbelievable pick. Anyway, I mean Flanders, if the role changed, TDK,
Flanders.
would you go round 2 on TDK?
Let's see where he's at. Well, what club's he playing for?
You were having a big old victory lap after round 1, weren't you? And then
Yeah.
it died in the arse pretty quick.
It did. Yeah. No, you're right. It did for sure. Anyone else? I don't know. There's a lot of cheap players because a lot of players have been underperforming. Like Jack Steele's going to be priced like in the low 90s.
Yeah, this
again.
is true. Even guys like Zach Butters has got a 40 odd that he's not going to get out of his price. Like he's not going to be top dollar, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, so he's averaging 95.
Yeah.
He's going to be priced there.
There's been a lot of underperforming midfielders
Like
this
Tristan
year.
Sherry, like he's averaging under 100. Look at that, going from a 120 second half of the year to less than 100.
Yeah.
He's there.
Depending on what Connor Rosie does in the last 4.
Adam
he's
Treloar
got pretty
is going to get a
solid.
massive discount, but it will be off a pretty big average the season before. But he's one to keep an eye on, although injuries for him is always concerning. And what the hell's Sam Welsh been doing? Every year Sam Welsh is on there. Caleb Sarong, 93.
Gross.
There's lots to discuss. Obviously, we'll dive into that in detail later. But there's some of the names that I think there'll actually be a lot of value, quote unquote. It'll be just sifting through which ones are the best value.
Yeah, we jumped the gun there, didn't we? We jumped the gun. Dave, thank you for your super chat, Dave. Dave says, we're still alive. Draft question again. Okay,
Oh,
this is
let's
good.
go.
Let's go, Dave. So Dave says, who are you loopholing tonight? Is it Blitz or Bose? Looking sober tonight, lads. Yeah, as long as we're looking sober.
That's your specialty, mate.
That's what we're after,
hiding
yeah.
hiding it from the better half.
Nobody knows.
So, okay. Bows or... Is it Bows or Bows? Bows? I think it's Bows. Bows? No, you have no idea. Or Blitzarves.
Yeah.
Okay, looping.
I think it's Bose.
Who's the rock tonight that he's going up against? My Essendon. So it's still Goldstein, yeah?
Goldie.
And I'm assuming
Goldie doesn't get beat up,
You've
regardless
still
of the
got-
fact that he's 100 years
you've
old.
still got Reece Stanley there. I think it's Bose Bowers. I think he's the guy you go.
I agree. I think there's a better point scoring role there.
Yeah, and that is probably a better matchup for him than like Blitzarves. He's not the type to get in on like waxing or anything like that. Like he just goes and does his thing, and he might even get managed and rested. So yeah, I'm gonna go Bowers.
Okay, is it question time?
It is question time.
I think it is.
So drop in your questions, guys, and we'll spend the next sort of 5 or so minutes going through them, and then we'll sign out. So
I mean, Mark, just here before everyone gets their questions in, Nick Newman,
that's
D1.
a good call. Yeah,
That is
obviously hasn't played this
That is
year.
a good call.
He is going to be 33. He's an old man now. So coming off the ACL.
You don't have to do much to score points in the half-back line for
Kitty
Carlton, I
Coleman?
think.
It's all just your
Kitty?
Yeah. All your picks, mate. They're all going to be cheap next year.
I came early. I was just a year early.
Year early. So yeah, a few different options there.
Okay, Sean says, hey lads, choose one please. Sean's current rank is 214.
Okay.
So
Gotta
number one
push.
option is Merritt and Butters to Whitfield and either Ash or Goulden, and using McCarthy as a bench loop with Rosie. Or number 2 is McCarthy and May to Whitfield and a rookie, and then loop Butters and Merritt.
Butters.
So looping Butters.
I'm going to go, because of where you're ranked at 214, I do think you need to take a bit more of a speculative play, and I'm going to go number 1 here because I know that Ash is probably the most unique option of all of these, and I think there's upside in getting rid of those guys in Merritt and Butters who are more highly owned.
All right, beautiful. Let's go to... Oh, Cheese says... see you later. It's got to go and help the ball and chain. So have a good weekend, Cheese. We appreciate your generosity. Brendan says, g'day, lads. Need an on-field forward for under 789. The options are limited. So we're looking at Neil Bull and we're looking at Keys, Peatling versus West Coast potentially. Toby, Green versus North, or the Pooh versus Richmond. This is a tough area to shop, Brendan.
This is... Neil Bullen has been doing some things. Recently.
Bullish on Bullen.
He has gone 91, 108, 135 in his last 3, and he's coming into West Coast. The issue is before that he went 46, 65, 50, 46, 60. So, yeah, there's that. I mean, he hasn't turned up except for those 2 rounds the previous few weeks. So, but he's sitting right at the top with a last 3 average of 111.
I feel the West Coast matchup it could be good here for you, Brendan, because I think sometimes in these easier matchups, those are the guys that sometimes thrive. Guys that are working that role ahead of the ball, just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe if you're looking at the best of a bad bunch, perhaps he's the one.
He could be the one. I'm just having a look at some of the other options. What about, would you rather him or a Ben Keys? What's Peatling been doing? Oh, he went his old 36 again last week. Was he a sub? Was he subbed out? Because his time on ground was very low. I'm going to have a look at some CBAs for him. Adelaide. 44%. If he plays the full game, that's probably who I would go. It's a bit of a risk.
I'm going to go for a little bit of previous form and go Neil Bullen there.
Okay.
Ella says, Luke, the only hat you'll ever be getting is through inheritance from your dad.
Just doubling down from Wednesday.
Glad I read that comment.
I don't think she didn't get a question in on the Q&A, but we did actually read it because I had a good chuckle at it.
That's true. We recorded a bit early.
Well, I love that she just made sure.
Sorry, Ella. Yes. Yeah. If you hit the drive-by, you got to make sure it sticks.
Yeah.
But Ella, I think you're right. I actually tend to agree.
Where is your old man sitting at the moment?
I think he's just outside the top 100.
Like 120 or something like that?
We have this running joke at home that it's just me and my sister. We're just the two of us. But I'm actually the third favourite child of Dad's because this guy's come in. And I genuinely think it's because I don't have a hat or fantasy pedigree. So I'm the third favourite out of 2.
The messages definitely took a shot up in the last 12 months. So...
Yeah, and I haven't heard from him in about a year. So it's probably case closed, isn't it?
Matt wants to know our
Sorry.
VCs and Cs. Were you going that one too?
Yeah, I wasn't, but
okay.
we can still go there.
What are our VCs and Cs? Are you're doing the Bailey Smith into Wang?
I don't have Ryan Marshall, and you know I'm a slave to the big boys, mate.
So I am trading in Rowan Marshall. So I might go there. Bailey Smith into Rowan Marshall. What the hell?
Hey.
He's my number 2, but like I said, I think he's the higher... is he the higher upside player? Wayne's got a big upside. But Rowan's just a beast. But I'm hoping Bailey Smith just gives us something good to look at tonight.
Yeah.
Or could you go to have a look at that Rowan Marshall ceiling and go a Marshall into a Dawson? Like the top 5 is... They're all good. It's hard to split them. There's something just I want to. Maybe it's just the shiny new toys and the fact that I'm trading in Rowan Marshall that I want to put the VC on him, but I don't know if I play it safe or not.
I got to go with the big boys, mate.
Go with the big boys.
Go
All
with
right.
the big boys. Where are we here? Patrick says, I'm out at 12K and just having random chucks at the stumps with fun pods. Went side bottom last night. What the fuck are Collingwood doing? I agree here, Patrick. Any suggestions? Thinking a Duday. Tommy Duday.
Oh my god, that is a name I didn't expect to hear. Is
Agricultural.
what
friend.
$3.99 defender, and he's in for his first game of the season.
If you want a throw at the stumps, that's a throw from the outfield.
Yeah, you are.
That's Mitchell Stark picking it up on the boundary and ripping it in.
Yeah, cricket. Yeah. So that's a long shot right there. So hey, it fits your criteria. I can't say I'd recommend it.
Okay, Eskimo has a question, and Eskimo is also one of our fantastic Patreon members looking to get back into hat territory here. So Eskimo wants to know, who are we fielding, Petrarca or McRae?
Oh, okay. McRae. Let's look at their... Okay, hold on. Let's look at their last 3, because I think they're both shit. So the last 3 average for McRae is gross 75, but Petrarca at 77. And Petrarca doesn't have the excuse of low time on ground. Now, do you think the new coach thing is a factor here? Like, does Petrarca get up for this game, or does he still just not give a shit?
I think there's a little bit of a kind of like freshener element.
I want to know how active he's been on social media this week. How many Instagram posts has he put out about cooking?
Yes. Yeah. So
I think there's been a direct...
What's your line?
Correlation.
We want the unders. What's the line?
I reckon if there's been 3 or more cooking posts, and I'm not talking like stories, we can deal with, but posts, have been 3 or more posts in the last week, he's gone. Get him out.
Specifically cooking posts?
Cooking posts. Or no, any
what if he's cooking
influencer type?
What if he's cooking meth?
Well, Captain him. Look, in all seriousness, it's hard to go against McRae if he is not the sub versus Richmond.
Yeah. I think Petrarca's been so bad.
Have they played? Should they played Richmond earlier this year? Yeah,
I mentioned earlier in the week.
He's got 113 against them in round 3.
There's points there.
McRae
There's
did.
points to be had. I mentioned this earlier in the week. There's 2 things. Obviously, when the new coach comes in, caretaker coach, whatever it is, I think that there's just that natural, like, okay, there's a bit of, like I said, a freshener. But also sometimes I think that coach comes in and goes, okay, well, fucking, I don't know why we've been doing this.
Why is Petrarca playing 20%?
You are now
midfield.
an 85% midfielder. Just go and do your thing for 3 games. That is a potential thing that happens as well.
Yeah, I still think the matchups clearly favour McRae, and I would say Petrarca's a better player, but like he just hasn't been scoring any better anyway. So yeah, I think it's McRae if he's not the sub.
Okay, let's get a couple more questions in, and then we'll let these people go and have a fiddle. Has asked about the VCs. We sort of talked about that before. Let's go and look at Eliza's question here. So Eliza says Daniel Warner or Tract, Ash or Nando. You're a Nando owner.
Yes. I'm a little nervous about Noah Anderson. Where are we at, Eliza? Okay. Daniel Warner or Track to Ash or Neto. I'd be going in Lockie Ash instead of Noah Anderson.
Okay.
I think I would favour that. And there, I am absolutely fine having a defender in my midfield. That is A-okay with me. I would be trading in a lot of those top defenders before a lot of the mids. And if I'm trading someone out, oh, man. Can you trade out Daniel after he put up a 115?
You absolutely can.
You can.
You absolutely can.
Warner, I know Warner has a West Coast matchup in the final round of the season. And I think that saves him for me. Now, we talked about Petrarca and McRae averaging 70s in their last 3. Warner's still averaging 91. That is underwhelming, but it's good enough. So I think he's safe.
Okay,
So it's either Daniel or Petrarca.
It's Daniel. At least you have a chance with Petrarca that some of those things before that I said come true. Daniel has GWS in Canberra. There is no fucking way in hell.
Caleb Daniels 19% in the top 100, 22 in the top 1,000. Petrarca is 81% in both. So he is way more highly owned.
And Caleb Daniel is hurting you. Like,
It wasn't last week.
Disregard last week. Disregard it. I own the guy. Disregard last week. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
That guy,
Fuck that guy, man.
It's been like 15 weeks since he had a ton previous.
Yeah.
It might have even been more.
More. I think it was. It was round 3.
There you go.
Round 3.
There you go. He's still the Caleb Daniel you know and love. Ditch that man. Okay, give me one last question.
All right,
Nigel.
one more question. Okay. Do you know anything about NBL?
Oh,
I don't.
Ella's just quietly. Ella's just checked Christian Petrarca's Instagram. It said that he posted 18 minutes ago.
Oh no, trade.
advertising his new book. Apparently,
The man he's off footy. He's getting his second career started.
Yeah, I want to try and find
that's
this.
a flag. That is a massive flag. You can't be having that. So yeah, I think that's a trade. Okay. Okay, would you trade McKercher over Petrarca? I would not.
No.
I would not trade McKercher. McKercher.
Apparently, I have to sign up for Instagram to view his post. Oh no, I'm back. Maybe. Am I?
I don't know.
How does Instagram work?
You're so present. McKercher is fine to me. He's been doing really well. Outside of that game, he got tagged against the Swans. He also has a Richmond matchup in 2 weeks. I would not be trading him. He is absolutely fine to keep. He's doing better than a lot of midfielders.
His book is called On Track.
Catchy.
I love wordplay.
It's very catchy.
I really do love wordplay. Okay, I'll trade him out.
I'll
but
tell you what he's
I'll
not
buy
on
his
track.
book.
He's not on track to score well this weekend. That's what he's not on track for. So focus on your footy, Christian. Mate. Anyway, we'll leave it there, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. And we are, hold up, I haven't checked yet, but I've got to remember to do this at the start of the video next time because by this point, everyone fucking tunes out. But we are 5 people away from 4,000 subscribers.
That could happen right now. If you're
now. We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll sit here and wait. You're not. This video is not ending until we get 5 people signed up.
If you get up out of your chair and go and find your mum or your partner, or even just create a new account with another email address.
You know what, Ellie, your sister, my girlfriend, has not subscribed to our YouTube channel because she doesn't have a YouTube subscription.
Oh, well, there we go.
Because she doesn't want to sign up because it messes with the algorithm. And I said, that's the weakest excuse I've ever heard.
I might, if nothing happens, I might go and create 5 new accounts.
But anyway, if there's anyone out there that can help us not resort to cheating, get subscribing into the YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up video, and we will see you guys for round 22 review on Monday. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully you get some sleep in for everyone up the top there. Bye.